Hi, it's Carrie here at Barefoot Consultants, and in this edition of the newsletter, I'm focusing things for those of you who are going to be teaching English online. So maybe you're at the point of preparing a CV or resume for review by a potential employer, or you're creating your profile, bio, or intro written, that is. And I've been doing several of these reviews recently in the past couple weeks after we wrapped up the Earn with English online masterclass. And I always focus my reviews from the perspective of the audience. So it's helpful if you're submitting a review to tell me who it is on the receiving end of the document that you've submitted for review. So let's take for instance. So for instance, you're applying for a job for an online school or company, and they require you to have a curriculum vitae or a resume as part of the application process. So in that case, I'm putting myself in the shoes of the person who is hiring you. That's going to be somebody who is probably integral to their institution and really has their students' interests in mind. So as I look through the document, what I'm looking for is, are you already speaking to the needs or addressing my concerns that my students will have? So what do I mean by that? Well, some of the things that you can tell me that would be really helpful are if you've ever done anything related to sort of lesson planning or any structural planning that you've done for a team, presentation, anything like that. That's always very helpful. Whether or not you've worked with multicultural or multilingual clients or audiences of any kind, how comfortable are you working with people who do not speak English as their first language? So anywhere you can weave that into the mix is very helpful. If you do have experience teaching classes or making presentations or doing trainings, it's always helpful for the person on the receiving end to know how many people. So was it 3 people? Was it 30 people? Was it 300 people? That will give me an idea of where your comfort level is when interacting with either individuals or groups, if the job is one where you might be teaching group classes. Another thing is to let me know the length of those presentations or classes that you taught. So was this something that you did for an hour? Was this a few hours? Was this over time? In what kind of context is that happening? So the more little details like that you can provide for the person on the receiving end, they start to be able to paint a picture of how you will fit into the structure of their business, and if you are a good fit for where they need to place you within that structure. So just saying, oh yeah, I've done lesson planning. Okay, great. So I know you have the skill of lesson planning, but I don't know how you delivered that, who you delivered it to, who was the audience for that, how many people, the length of time it took to deliver it. Those kinds of things are incredibly helpful details. So as an evaluator of your document or the person on the receiving end, those are probably the things that they're looking for, in addition to, of course, the duties that you've done in previous jobs, your skill set, a lot of your soft skills. Things like that are important, but don't forget the details. The same goes for those of you who are looking at creating a profile or a bio or some kind of written explanation or invitation to future students of what it is you do, how you do it, who you work with, where's your comfort level, right? And so those are the kinds of things that you can also weave into that, letting me know as an individual who's going to choose you to work with, if you can give me some details about, when and where you've worked with other people like me. Even if that is, in my previous job experience, I worked with people who on teams overseas. So I'm very good at communicating with people who don't have English as their first language. Things like that can really help me see myself working with you and know that you're going to be comfortable in that context. So just keeping in mind that those are the kinds of details that somebody's looking for on the other end, and they're trying to assess how good of a fit you are for them, whether it's them as an individual, as a one-on-one tutor situation, or them as a company, and what it will be like for you to be working with their students.